Hey everybody, this is Wise Papa Smurf, your host for LOLA Podcast, episode 334. And with me is Stove. What's up, Stove?
Howdy, everybody.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so Stove tonight decided that he was going to go on his first LOLA rant, which is like the LOLA equivalent of a bar mitzvah. So, he's becoming a man live
No,
on the podcast. We're so
I,
excited.
I think it would be more of a communion. The bar mitzvah is when you start the podcast with a story, completely irrelevant to
Right,
what we're
right.
talking about.
And then also finish the podcast also with a story that's completely irrelevant. By the
To the
way,
first, it's irrelevant to the first story.
hold on, I actually want to redo that intro and say, back by popular demand is Stove.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, did you read the podcast feedback
Oh,
channel
I
this
did
week?
it warmed my heart like a
Yeah,
lot.
you got
I
something.
wanted to address it.
Oh, address away. You have a fan.
Yes. So we read all the podcast feedback in the Discord, and I got a good review, and it felt great and made my entire day. And I'm very happy that you guys enjoy that I'm here. Clearly, Papa and I work. That's what he said. Who is it? I want to give actual credit. I will shout him out.
Why does my... There it is. I think I just fixed it. My camera looked like I was covered in butter. So,
So Poke Freak.
yep.
I yep. Left a very nice feedback. Hell, we've been getting a lot of feedback actually.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, Double just sent me a thing.
Oh
Yeah, he
boy.
asked me if we needed another podcaster. Well, a little late now. I mean, I got Stove, but I
Oh,
can
there goes.
always pull you in.
Oh boy, there goes the flag.
Here we go. What? No!
Oh
man.
lord.
What happened?
Oh man. Lola fashion. We're like, oh yeah, grip and rip it, boys.
Best Chinese fucking flag piece of shit.
I don't know if this will be on the podcast, but for listeners, Blake has a what horde flag? Yes.
Yeah,
Horde.
yeah. Well, it's actually technically, I think that one's Ogremar,
What?
but it's the flag of the Horde.
Flag of the horde in his
So,
setup, and it
okay.
fell over.
So I have been decorating my basement now because I finally, like, all these walls are fucking concrete, which makes it a super huge pain in the ass to do anything with the
Yes.
walls, right? Like, huge pain in the ass because you have to like drill a concrete hole, like put in a like a molly, whatever for hanging anything, pictures, what have you. And so I finally got some legit masonry drill bits, and it still is, I mean, still a pain in the ass. Don't get me wrong, but now that I have the masonry drill bits, it's a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I got those. Everything's doing pretty good. And I started to do some like decor. So I have my Mizzou flag here. And I mean, keep in mind the whole room is kind of still in flux, but I'm gonna have like a Mizzou flag here, and then a different colored Mizzou flag over here. I've got the Ogremar flag, and then on this side, my dartboard and my scoring for the dartboard set up, pool table. I have my cloth map from UO and my cloth map from EverQuest and EverQuest Ruins of Kunark. And so I thought that would be a pretty cool like gaming tie-in for me because I thought like how am I gonna how am I gonna decorate this room and like because the theme is gaming, you know,
Yeah.
and like so how am I gonna do this in a way that like sells that but is also like it's gaming, so it's to me. And so I've got a bunch of NES like art prints that I've got in the shelves and stuff. I've got classic old school retro systems on either side of my computer. like over
Mm-hmm.
here, but I didn't want to do all NES stuff because that's like right? Um,
Yeah, it's
so
very
like
limited.
yeah, so like I got those maps framed. I thought that was really cool, and then I went and got this, and it's a map of WoW, and it's like it has like all the flight paths and shit on it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is super fucking cool. Like it's a cool ass fucking map. The problem is it's as big as one of these fucking flags. I didn't know it was gonna be that big, and so I don't know what the fuck to do with it because I don't think I have a place to hang it. You know, because like right
Yeah.
now I would have to put a picture of that or put that hang up between two Mizzou flags, and that doesn't make any fucking sense. It's like this is where I went to college, and that's the Undercity, and then that's also where I went to college. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't. Like,
It's inconsistency.
yeah, it's an inconsistency. But if I put it on this side of the room with all the other flags, that would be cool. Problem is, they don't have wall space over there, so I'm kind of fucked on this plan. I think I may have to return this, which breaks my heart a little bit.
You'll probably find something smaller.
Well, yeah, but this one was the coolest print because it had all the flight paths and the boats and like, I thought that was really cool. I kind of wanted that, but oh, it even has like the level range for all of the zones. So it says like
Breaking his heart even more.
Oh man, it says like Barons 10 to 25, Mulgore 1 to 10, Thousand Needles 25 to 35. This is fucking cool, man. Ah!
I mean, I never played WoW, so
Yeah, I played a lot of fucking WoW back in the day. Like I was a GM in WoW. Ran a guild called the Dirty Hordes.
that's pretty good.
I know, right? So
I played MapleStory. That was my MMO.
shout out to Bone Daddy. You know who you are. If you listen to the little podcast, which I doubt you do. But if you do, shout out to you, buddy.
Hey, you never know.
And he has no idea who the fuck I am because that wasn't my name in WoW. So, in WoW, I was Kalador, leader of the police force.
You just suddenly we get feedback, be like, "You motherfucker!"
No, BD, or Bone Daddy, who went by BD, was Warlock, obviously. Came down to Missouri to like visit. I met him in person. He was a cool guy. You know, that was you make close friends in this kind of shit. But
Oh yeah,
so
I was the best man at someone I met through MapleStory. I was the best man at his wedding.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it was super cool. It got like, what was it? We had like 2 people from California, a person from Pennsylvania, 2 people from Canada, and we were like his family there with his grandmother.
So yeah, yeah. I mean, dude, like online friends, good people generally. I'm sure there's like somebody who has a horror story that's like, I met a guy online playing video games and then he raped me, and you're like, okay, this is what your parents were afraid of. This is the exact situation. You know, because I mean, like, look, like Ponderous came down here. We had a great time. Yeah, nobody had sex with anybody. We just went to a theme park and had a good time. Actually, if you take that out of context, it is super sex predatory.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he came down and we went to an amusement park.
We went to an amusement park. I let him pet my dog. You know, like, because I did. He did pet my dog. That happened.
He met my wife.
Yeah, he met my wife. Yeesh. Anyway, but he did pet my dog.
Why is that funny?
Because that's what pedophiles do. They're like, come to my van. You can pet my dog. And then they, you know, diddle the kids.
Did you give him candy? Did you give him cotton candy at the...
We may have gotten taffy at Silver Dollar City. I don't know. I did buy a bunch of taffy because I always do when I go to Silver Dollar City because they have really good taffy there. And so I buy taffy for my desk. So, I have desk taffy. I'm the coolest lawyer ever. Fucking desk taffy. Anyway, anybody should have desk taffy. But anyway, I wanted to make one announcement before you start your rant, and that is I had well, also in the podcast feedback, it was requested that I retell the story about the time I went to Mexico, right? Like Tijuana in particular, and I went, yeah, okay, I can retell that story. Like I remember what happened. I mean, there may be some details here or there that are a little bit different as you retell the story 10 or 15 years later. But
Yes.
I don't mind to tell the story. I'll hit all the high points for sure. We can do that again. But I can do one better. So I talked to Dr. Ham. And some of you may know Dr. Ham as the surly asshole that hung out in the Discord like several years ago was the last time he was spotted in the Discord. Now he just plays games with Brad all the time. You know, Adept, if anybody remembers Brad. He plays games with Brad all the time. So I went and talked to him. I said, hey, Ham, you remember when we went to fucking Mexico and all the shit that happened in Mexico? And he's like, yeah, I don't tell that story. And I go, I did. I told it to everybody on the podcast. And now you need to come on the podcast with me and also tell that story at the same time because we got a request. And he agreed to do so. Because there was nothing incriminating about that story for me or for him.
So you can happily say it.
Yeah, so we can tell the story and it's totally fine. But, you know, I know that the first time I told that story, like, we had some people write in and call bullshit on me, and I'm like, it happened. Like, that's verbatim telling of what the fuck happened as best as I can recall it. And like I said, it was like 15, 20 years ago. But Colin was also there. So you'll get it from two perspectives, same story, retold.
Confirmation.
Well, I mean, and I've already said, that's going to be a whole episode. We're just going to tell the story of what happened on the Mexico trip. I don't know what we're going to do after it, or if there will be any episode left, but there you go. Because he said, I felt bad for him. He said the story, when I told the Mexico story, that was when he first got into LOLA. And then he tried to show it to his girlfriend, but he couldn't find the episode. Right?
So we're going to have a specific,
so
here is your Tijuana story.
Here's the Mexico story. It was like Tijuana on a Wednesday. It may have been Tijuana on a Tuesday, but I think it was Wednesday. I'm pretty sure it was Wednesday. And, but man, I wish it was on Tuesday, because Tijuana on a Tuesday sounds way better. It's got the alliteration thing going. But,
rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, it is a little bit smoother. You know, but that being said, you know, it happened. Ham's going to come. We're going to tell the story. Okay, without further ado, Stove, you have a rant.
Okay. So, there is a video that's been going around recently, the past couple days. It was on top of the League Reddit subreddit. It's been passed around everywhere. And if you don't know the video, it is the title, I Am Sorry for Breathing as an ADC by, what is it? XFSN Saber. Whatever.
Wait, hold up. The Reddit title of that post is, I guess, supports are assassins.
So, supports have become assassins in Season 12. That
Right,
was the,
okay,
the thread on the subreddit. Okay. The video shows a Jin at 3 items. What is he at? He's 11 and 6. This is 30 minutes into the game. His entire team, I assume a team fight just happened. His entire team is gone. He's at 3/4 health. He then he has vision of one person on the enemy team, which is a Jinx, who is about 1/4 health. Alright, he uses his 1 CC ability, tries to thirst for the kill, does not get the kill. He has no flash and no Gale Force on. They're both on cooldown. He then gets run down by a Blitz, which is fucking hilarious because the Blitz throws out the fucking Be Happy emote as he's running towards him with was it Shirelia's, Deadman's, and Predator.
Right.
This is not he's not being stopped. Jin then gets bodied at I think I saw a 1600 health. So everyone is now jerking this guy off, saying that they're like supports are now assassins. ADCs do nothing. So Christmas came fucking early this year because every year ADC mains and ADC players have to fucking bitch around March and April that they do no damage. My role means nothing. I can't do anything in this game. Every fucking year for at least 4 years since season 8. At least.
Yeah, and
I,
keep in mind,
I would give it.
It's also the support's fault, no matter what. By the way.
Yes, I would say probably after after Ardent season. So that was 7, right?
Yeah, and I mean, keep in mind, Ardent season was the season that ADCs were insane.
Gods.
Because of Ardent.
Yes.
And they had to dial back ADCs because Ardent, like everybody was running enchanters and running Ardent because Ardent was broken.
What, it was like Kale mid, Karma top, Lulu or Soraka bot, and then was Ivern around? You would probably run Ivern.
I don't think so. I think
but,
you hit it with the other ones, but regardless.
I just remember Bjergsen on fucking Karma, and I'm just like, why?
Ardent
why are you putting Bjergsen on fucking Karma of all things? But, so everyone is literally just jerking off to the fact that, oh, ADCs don't do anything. We're getting, like, there's so much damage. Everyone has so much damage. Why can't I do damage? I should be able to kill this Blitz who's 3 levels under. It's just like, he has resistances. He has, like, Blitz is always has damage. Like, he doesn't have, like, no damage. He's not a fucking walking stick.
I will actually dispute that. Blitz does 0 damage unless you build AP, and by 0 damage I mean it's only the base damages.
Yes.
Unless you build AP, and like the only real, I mean, okay, his knockup is like double AD.
Yes.
He has no AD. Like, you're not building AD on a Blitzcrank ever.
But
right?
He has base damages. Can we confirm this?
Yes, he has good base damages that hurt.
Okay. So,
but
Jin,
like, he doesn't build damage, and he doesn't.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm not saying he's not building damage, but he has base damages. He has decent base damages, and Blitz uses a knockup, uses Predator damage, uses Deadman's damage, uses his ulti, uses Ignite, uses Q, and is weaving autos through it all. You know what the fucking Jin did? He put a trap too late, because he had two. He had 2 traps. He saw Blitz coming and he didn't put any traps down. He waited until Blitz was literally on his ass. And oh fuck. Oh my god, I'm getting this is the shit that just boils my blood. Because I have to hear this every fucking season as a support player, a top player, a jungler, everyone. Everyone has to hear either mid laners or ADCs crying when they can't do damage and they can't survive a burst when they're built to be glass fucking cannons.
So I looked it up, right? And keep in mind, Blitz has, like, W does no damage.
No,
right?
it's only attack speed.
So his damage is spread across the other 3 abilities. So if you look at total burst, it's pretty comparable to other stuff.
Yes.
But, right off the bat, you're going to get, let's say, I'm assuming since this is mid-game and people have 3 items, that Blitz has already fully maxed out his rocket grab, which is 290 damage plus 120 AP.
Level 13. He's level 13, the Jin is 16.
Okay. So he's probably going to max out rocket grab and have a lot of points in overdrive, which again is not going to do any damage. Because you're going to take overdrive seconds for the move speed.
Yes.
Right? So that way you get into hook range. Unless he forewent movement speed because he already had Predator and he already had Shurelius, and so then it's kind of overkill, you know. But I don't know.
It's
But regardless,
but E's damage doesn't scale.
yeah, okay. And no, it doesn't. It's just double AD. There would be
Yes.
no reason to max Power Fist with Blitz because the only thing it does is lower the cooldown. And if you're
Yes.
playing Blitz, the whole point is just to do the knockup, and that's realistically it, right?
Yes.
And you're not going to get
2 knockups.
2 knockups by the time somebody's dead if you've hooked them once already. So most blitzes max Q, then W, then E last because it really doesn't give you much, right?
Okay.
So if that's the case, he's going to do 290 damage plus 120 AP. He didn't build AP.
No,
Okay.
no. Well,
So-
does Shurelius have AP?
Actually, I think it does. It has a little bit.
Because so I did the calculations. I did what you did.
Yeah.
I didn't account for Predator. I didn't account for Predator, and I forgot that Shurelius may have AP. So I calced all this. He's doing about 1,200 damage
All right.
from.
Shurelia's has no, it doesn't.
No
have
AP?
No.
Okay.
Heal and shield power, cooldown reduction, health, mana regen, health regen.
Okay. So he's doing about 1,200 damage apart from Predator. I didn't.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I
300 for the rocket grab, double AD, and AD wouldn't be that much. And then his ult,
Dead Man's.
Yeah, Dead Man's, and his ult is 500 plus 100 AP. Well, no, that's 500 at max range. He'll do 375. At
Yeah,
level
I did. I did level the second rank
Okay.
ulti.
So you're talking
So-
about 675 damage.
I
plus
did
Dead
1,200. I did the 1,200 was solely no auto attacks.
Okay.
0. This is from just items
Yep.
on a 80 carry who had 1,600 health at the mark of engagement.
Yeah.
Your ass is dead. You have 0 resistances to to anything. You're built like a fucking glass cannon. You just want to be a cannon. Period. You want to be a fucking fortress cannon. This is what bothers me every fucking year, that I have to hear all these complaints, which then plants the seeds into Riot, and guess what they're making? A Sterax with damage, crit, attack speed. We get fucking stopwatch because God forbid, because everybody needs fucking stasis now. We get shit like Crown of the Shattered Queen. Mages got dicked for what, 1, maybe 2 seasons? Now they get the best tank item in the fucking game, which still gives them damage? I speak from a fucking tank perspective. I don't get shit. I got what? We were able to microwave the fucking Baron for preseason last year. Which was fucking awesome. Probably the only meta I got to enjoy for a long ass time was the Frost Gauntlet Sunfire meta. When Tank Echo top, Fizz top, Nidalee top. That was a weird fucking time, but you know what? Fights lasted longer than they do now. And it was an enjoyable time. Yes, it not enjoyable to everyone, but at least everything isn't getting bursted out the ass. I'm bringing this up because it's a problem stacking on more problems, and the problems just make fucking Jenga tower that's made out of solid fucking concrete. Next thing you know, we're gonna have the Washington monument of fucking problems here.
So, I do want to join your rant. For context, Fizz with any 2 abilities, will do more than Blitzcrank did.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And these are like his base damages. Like his ult is 325 plus 100 AP. 100% AP for his ult damage.
Yeah.
Fizz builds AP in his build. His ult would have done more than Blitz in his shit, right? Like, doing 1200 damage is not a lot. The problem here is not that the support's doing too much damage, it's that ADCs don't build enough hit points and go out by themselves well past river. Because as an ADC, there is like really no one on the board that you should be able to 1v1 because you have no health.
You have no health. You don't build resistances, because if you do, you're stacking damage, which is counterintuitive to the whole role and your whole champion.
Right. Like,
and we can't have an item like, and that's the thing. I've heard the counter argument of, what about mages? I'm like, mages scale, like, don't have everyone has AD, whether you build AD or build AP. Everyone has initial AD damage. Everything, mages have to work off what they scale, which is off of items. You scale naturally and with your items. And we all know, if anyone who has been...
Keep in mind, APs are also gated by cooldowns, and APs
yes,
are not. So, like,
you're gated by your auto attack cooldown, which if you're a fast attacker, it's pretty quick.
Right, and I mean, if you're an AP player, you're gated by the cooldowns on your abilities, which are usually not that quick. So imagine if a Syndra takes a long distance shot at somebody and then Blitz runs up on her while she has 900 hit points or 1,000 hit points. She's gonna die.
Same shit.
Like, you used.
If she wastes her orb and her pushback, yeah, she's a sitting duck.
Right. And so Jhin wasted the equivalent abilities. So I don't think that's a fair thing to say, like, oh,
mages have this.
Mages had this. Like, if a mage used 2 of her cooldowns, no, they're probably going to die too. I mean, probably.
Yeah.
But
Victor's probably the only one who could possibly survive this.
But, you know,
because
the other difference is, like, mages do build hit points. There are too many items that mages have now that have defensive shit to them.
Yeah, the
like,
I'll be honest.
The Shattered Queen.
Yes.
Or Zanya's has,
armor. Shadow Flame has health.
Yep.
Honestly, the best resistance right now is health. Armor and magic resist don't mean as much anymore because there's so much damage in the game. And that's really the topic of what I wanted to bring up, is that power. This is all a result of power creep. I'm not denying that it feels bad to play ADC. It can. It really can. And I understand, because what Riot wants they want them to start their spiking at 2 to 3 items, but the games are typically done before that.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that this is their grievances. And I talked about it with a few people. I talked about it with Snap, really. That was the big one. I'm okay with ADCs getting crit items going back to 25%. I'm perfectly fine with that. Like, let them spike a little bit sooner. But it's infuriating that they want to be basically a ranged bruiser at this point.
Yeah.
Which that throws the balance of the game out the door. Like, right now,
well, I mean,
League
ADCs aren't, like, okay, I have a bit of a biased opinion right off the bat, and I'm not trying to dog on ADCs, but I'm going to dog on ADCs a little bit. ADCs, like, you're in a duo lane that's automatically more difficult because you succeed or fail based on the efforts of another person that you don't control.
Yes.
Supports have been given a relevant amount of damage early, but we fall off super hard.
As far as our damage.
Yeah, as far as damage goes. The difference is base damages are still a thing, and ADCs never build health. So if you never build any kind of defensive item, base damages are going to be relevant to you. Everybody is going to kill you. Hence the glass cannon part of it. Right? Like that's what you are, is a bump shatters you, but you blow up everybody else if you live. Right? Now, you can complain that it's too easy for people to get on you. You can complain that ADC is bad in solo queue because you don't get enough peel, and your job requires peel, right? To which
Yes.
I would say that like sacrifice some damage for survivability if you're not getting peel. You know, like you're gonna need it. So you build suboptimally because your team won't defend you. Right? Like it sucks.
It does, but
It's better than
every
instantly dying and doing no damage.
literally every other role has to do that. Every other role. ADCs is the only one that you basically don't have to change the way you play based on the game. You basically get like you have what are the good items and what are the good ADCs. That's it.
Yeah.
Like
And I mean,
like
there's always the whole like, it's easy to say like Acer Circle is in the chat right now saying they also need to learn to position better. And I mean,
bam.
that's true, but it's also like an overly broad stroke, right? Like
Yes.
it's like saying they need to learn not to die. Like, yeah, okay, but that's a wide ass thing. You know what I mean? Like, and there's a lot of times where you're positioned correctly, but then someone comes out of nowhere and murderates your ass because you're still glass, right?
Yes.
Like, you're still going to be team reliant, and that's what makes ADC hard in solo queue, right? The problem is ADCs want, the big drawback of ADC is that you're in a duo lane, you're team reliant, you have to worry, your support has to feed you early so you can be big later and get your power fantasy, right? Like you
Yes.
are a mid to late game champion, and they go, but I don't really like the fact that I don't have an early game. I want to have an early game and be a mid to late game champion. And it's like, no, you don't get those things. You can't have all those things, or you're literally just the best role.
Or you will, like, yeah, they're like
Everybody's
right.
an ADC now. We have
So
10 ADCs on the board.
exactly. You all right, Papa? You've played this game for 12 years now, right?
Yeah.
All right. And how long have you played support?
Since season 3.
Remember how dog shit that was?
Yeah, it was horrid.
We didn't get to do shit.
Correct.
You were a ward bot. You did little, like even
Let
less.
me back it up for people who didn't play that long.
Yes.
Whenever you say you were a ward bot, back then support items didn't drop free wards. Back then you had to buy green wards and buy pink wards, and you could hold as many green wards as you wanted.
When was Sightstone?
Season 5 or 6.
Let me double check this because yeah.
So I mean,
Sightstone.
Sightstone didn't even exist, and then they made Sightstone become, because there was blue Sightstone and then red Sightstone, like ruby Sightstone. But before Sightstone, you just had to go around buying green wards and buying pink wards.
Oh no, it's been in the game
For
the
how
entire
long?
time.
Really?
Version 1.0.0.152.
No, I'll be damned. I thought that came along much later. But even with Sightstone, you were still expected to buy. Your Sightstone was 800 gold, and you were still expected. That was the
And
first purchase.
And it takes an item slot.
Sure, but that didn't matter because the only thing that you were doing is buying like 30 wards in addition to the Sightstone, and you just go around and go bloop 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 bloop.
So you never, never had the money to build an item.
No, you just never bought items because if you weren't spending your money on vision, you were trolling.
Yeah.
So it was like a support that built items was considered to be a dick. Like that was the meta, right? And fair enough that was the meta because the amount of raw vision control you could get was more relevant than your items would have been. But Riot decided that's unhealthy and doesn't fulfill any kind of support power fantasy unless your power fantasy is getting boned, right? Like,
And it put more emphasis on other people on the map to actually start caring about Vision.
right. Vision became a team game, which is healthier, right?
Much
I mean,
healthier.
Still, support leads the Vision race,
Yes.
but Vision was healthier after that.
Vision is is healthier now.
Yeah, and so with that, like a big, that came with, oh, we freed up supports to buy damage. And then we went into the whole like, and now we're going to have 1 million mage supports because everybody went, I can build damage. But what the people who were doing mage supports didn't realize, and I mean, you have to be actually good at a mage support to do this, but the only way that you like have enough gold to compete with a mid laner is if you just double kill the fuck out of your bot lane. And even
Like
then,
on repeat.
yeah, like fast. Because even like you're not CSing. Like you're not getting the primary source of gold income that everybody else is getting.
The best you're getting is the support item passive gold, which is nothing.
Yeah, it's not a lot. You know, and I mean, it's more than supports have ever gotten before. And
Yes.
whenever they first switched over, it was poorly tuned, and it gave out too much ambient gold.
Oh yeah, remember the Ezreal mid lane, blue Ezreal mid lane?
Yeah, and they would buy like the support item or like the jungle item. And,
Yep.
Yeah, I remember. But I mean, all that said, like, yeah, those were things that were like abuse cases that were kind of fucked. But like, all in all, dude, I don't think it's healthy for the game to go back to supports or reward bitches and have no money and no impact on anything.
Yeah.
And can't build any kind of damage and are just like, I run from everyone because everyone will kill me by looking at me, right?
Yes. This
And,
is
like, I don't
like
have
80
damage. I don't do anything. I don't scale into anything. You know, I'm just here. And like you talk about not really having, like, doesn't feel like you're impacting the map. That was what support was. It did not feel like you were winning the game. But if you provided enough vision, your team was smart enough to actually look at it, you were. Yeah,
but
yeah.
like support relied even like right now it's obviously the ADC relies on the support. The support relied on everyone literally doing everything else.
Yep.
It is an unfun like ADCs want to complain that they don't get to do anything, but never ever considered supports didn't get to do shit for 4 years, like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing is.
Hell, junglers. Remember how bad junglers were?
Yeah. Yeah, that was bad too.
Junglers were good until what? Season 5, season 6? I would say 5. That was what? I think that was when Lantern came out. No, Feral Flare. No, 4. 420 Weedwick. I forgot. Fuck.
But I mean, fuck, man. Like, jungler, like, all these other rules have had it rough. And ADC goes between being, like...
At worst, okay.
At worst, okay. I mean, Season 8 was a little rough. But, like...
I'll give them that, but they got one season bad.
Well, yeah, but that also came off the Ardent season where they were monsters. Because Ardent did everything for them.
When was Ardent season?
I think it was 7.
I thought it was 6. Oh my god, someone's asking like what was the Ardent sensor meta? I mean, what?
Who asked what the Ardent sensor meta is? So here's what happened. Ardent
2017.
Yeah, okay, so 5 years ago. So season 6.
Season 6.
12. Are we in 12 or 11?
We just started in 12.
Okay, so season 7. And then 8 was the shitty season. Yeah, that adds up. Because Okay, so Ardent Sensor meta. They made Ardent Sensor. Ardent Sensor was busted because it would,
Best item in game.
yeah, it would give you like enhanced shields, and then
Healing
all this other shit, and attack speed, and like
on hit.
yeah, it was really fucking strong. And so any Lulu, any Janna, any Karma, they would
If you
buy
can heal
this.
and shield, didn't
Yeah,
matter what champion you were. If you can
yeah,
heal and shield and apply this item, it was god tier.
yeah. You were best, man.
Like Kale, there was Kale, Karma.
Kale, Karma, Lulu, and because it was Lulu Cog was the big bot lane.
Hell, Lee Sin. I remember Lee Sin building this shit.
Because he could jump
Of
to people.
like, you got your like the season of ADC, and then suddenly you have a bad season. Because they had to nerf Arden, and they had to nerf ADCs because they're like, oh shit, ADCs are like actually strong.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and keep in mind, if you listen to pros for a while there, they said ADCs are too strong. Like they're,
Yes.
and if you looked at like the top whatever, and keep in mind this has been true of virtually every season. Looking at the top 10 of Challenger, it's like all the best ADCs are in the top 10 because ADC is a role that the higher the elo you go, the better the ADCs are.
And the more how was it? How
I
much
mean,
the team
okay.
values you
So
more.
let me. God damn it, the flag went down.
Flag went down again.
So I'm gonna have to fix that shit. Anyway, what I mean by that is like that's kind of like a well, duh. The better better elo are, the better they are. What I mean is in relation to the other members of their team, they're better. You see what I'm saying? Um,
It's a
like,
graph. Normally when you go up, there's a graph of like
what I'd say is like in silver, your ADC is probably the worst player on your team. In Diamond 2, your ADC is probably the best player on your team.
yes.
And like that changes dramatically.
Yeah, well,
from,
I was gonna make the example that most roles it goes up as a steady incline. ADCs goes spikes, like it starts
right.
swinging up the higher elo you go because ADC you gotta position right. You gotta space your shit. You gotta be wary of everything around you because yes, you can die at the drop of a hat.
Well, and that was the other thing in a lot of these comments on that post was like support's bullshit, support's so easy, support's blah blah blah, and like low skill floor, blah blah blah. And I only half agree with some of those comments. Like, I think that people get so bent out of shape about support because the mechanical skill ceiling of support is low. But, like, it is being good at support is an entirely different mindset than being good at any other position in league, right? It's like the same argument of somebody who's like really good at Singed but sucks at every other top laner, right? It's the same kind of thing. Like, it's a unique role in League of Legends that doesn't require a lot of overlapping skills. Like, for example, you don't have CS,
No, you don't.
but you do need to orb walk, and you do need to use your abilities to move forward and move backwards. You're in the only 2v2 lane on the entire board, right? And so you need to know how to like 2v2 all in, when to peel for another person, when to back off. When do I buy this person time? Is this a fight that I fight to the death? Do I die here to give the other person a kill? Do I not? Right? Like, when do I balance roaming and warding with lane presence? Right? Do we have a dragon? Do I need to buy pink orbs? Do I need to buy items?
Where's the enemy jungler? Where's my jungler?
Like,
Is their mid missing? Our mid missing?
yeah, and there's like not a whole lot of overlap. I mean, some of those things are relevant in any role in the game, right? Like,
Yes.
they just are.
But
like,
for us as supports, we have the ability to check the map more and to look and understand. We don't have to worry about a constant gold influx of CS because we don't have to.
Right. I mean, people think that the only hard lanes to play are the doer lanes, right? Like, I got a lead. I beat my opponent. I'm very skilled. I'm a doer. And the reality is, an enabler is an entirely exceptionally beneficial person for your team that may not themselves be a doer, right? But, like, if I make you succeed, then you want to pat your back and go, I'm so skilled. Oh man, I'm so good at this fucking game.
Good job,
Ugh.
buddy.
Good job, me. High five. I need a raise. You know, and like, fuck that. Like, I'm the one that helped you do that shit, but you don't. Nobody gives a shit about that, right? Like, you get,
Never.
you know, no credit, no gold, whatever. Fuck off. I did it all. And ADCs, like, there's a lot of stressors to playing ADC, but it also attracts the people that think that they're mechanical gods.
The power fantasy of like a late game AD carry draws in a certain type of people.
Right. Right. And I mean, it's very hard to like be like, okay, I know I'm gonna get the bitchiest, most childish douchebags, and that's my lane partner as a support. And they have a chip on their shoulder about how I'm actually strong early, and it's my role to do shit early because they don't care. They want it to be them the whole time, and so they refuse to do that. I actually got yelled at in a platinum game last season because I made a play. I went all in on it because it was a good all in. My ADC didn't. And then I said, hey man, like, you know, supports make the engage. You need to, like, follow up on the engages because that was a kill I was giving you. And the guy's like, I make the engages. I'm not going to follow shit that you do. I don't trust anybody else's engages. And I'm like, you can't make the engage. You don't have CC.
At most, you have one form of CC.
They did.
At most. What was it?
I can't remember what 80s. I think it was kind of like Samira or something.
Yeah, you have no CC.
You have no CC. How are you going to do this? Like, just go play anywhere else. Play any other thing. Because clearly ADC isn't for you if you think that you get to lead the engage. Because the problem is, if you do lead the engage, you're putting me in a situation where I have to land a CC-based skill shot, or you're probably going to die. You know, so not only do I have to be ready on your move, but I have to hit something in the moment, or you die. And if I don't hit it in the moment, I'm useless. You like, think Morgana, right? If you go all in on your lane opponent, I have to use that moment to hit a Q. And if I don't hit a Q, the only thing I can do is black shield you, which won't stop their damage.
Nope.
And then puddle, which they can walk out of.
Doesn't stop you, doesn't slow you, nothing.
Doesn't do anything. And then I have auto attacks.
But if you start with the
You
Q,
start on the first Q that hits.
they're CC'd. We can then stack on them.
Right, and then you get the black shield to prevent counter CC. They take all this damage. They can't run away from you, and then they die. Like, this is not a hard fucking concept, right? Like, you don't lead, right? Like, and I've never understood this. The lane is set up to be an alley-oop, right? Like, I toss the ball up to you. You catch it in midair, and you dunk that motherfucker. Like, that's
You gotta dunk that shit! You gotta dunk that shit!
That's the lane setup, man. Like, I'm tossing it up to you. I'm a white guy, can't jump. You jump. That was the name of the movie. I'm Woody Harrelson. right? Like, I'm tossing it to you.
God.
You're dunking, right? So,
Like I'm playing a role to set you up, but you have to understand I have to set you up.
right. And that's like saying, like, nah, man, I'm just going to alley-oop myself. I'm like, no,
Yeah,
you're
the
not.
second you throw that ball up, guess what happens? It gets slapped right out of your fucking face.
Fucking Manute Bowl slaps the Wheaties out of your cart, and you're fucked. You're,
No, no, no. Not in my house.
not today.
Not today.
But I don't know, man. Like, this is. I get tired, man. Like, glass cannon, man. You're a glass cannon. That's what it is. That is actually a fun way to play the game. It can also be very frustrating.
Yeah, you're walking on a tightrope, essentially.
Right. You are playing in a way that allows you to be punished at the absolute fucking maximum. But if played well, you look like a god. And
How I want to know how many fucking people looked at a fucking video from Gosu playing Vayne and then was like, I could do that. I could do that. I definitely could do that. It's just like you understand, like he understands his role. He understands his champion. Like he knows like what he has to do and he will execute it well. Like you have to like there is a it's a you have to be conscious of many things, and yes, it is a hard thing to do, but played well, it is phenomenal. It's a phenomenal feeling. I play ADC. I have 100,000 mastery points on Jin, Misfortune, and Ashe. I understand this feeling, but I also understand that it comes with a price.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what. So,
I'm not gonna defute that like there is a fuck ton of damage in the game. Like there is a lot from everyone though. Like if we're talking like power creep, ADCs haven't really gotten crazy like a crazy scalar of power creep because they were already kind of high from the get-go. So when like you have your top laner, your jungler, your support, mid laner, they're all starting to creep back up. Well, no, I would say support and top lane and jungle got the biggest like swing. Whereas mid lane got a little bit more. But I think that's just for popularity and all that shit. But like they get the like you just don't see the biggest power creep in the game right now. And with everyone else getting more damage and you still can't you don't have resistances. Where we can't have a high AD, high armor item because then we get what? What was it? Atmos?
Atmos Impalers, AD. It was AD, and it wasn't even that good, but it was defensive, offensive item, and it was actually Atmos and another item that was offensive, defensive, that made Riot say we can't keep making these items; they break the game.
Yeah, you can't have an offensive, defensive item.
Right.
Because it breaks the game. Like that.
And then they made a bunch of
Oh,
them.
I'm not going to defend the bruiser items.
You know,
yes.
And all that shit. Anyway, I do like I want to have another quick rant here for a second.
Go ahead.
And this is unrelated. So I was flipping through the patch notes today. 12.2 is up, the patch notes. And while I hate talking about patch notes, because like you can just read them. I don't know what our immediate impression on patch notes does for anybody, but everybody said, all right, we said we were going to stop doing patch note shows, and everybody was like, yeah, that's a great fucking idea because those are boring shows. So done, right? But they're nerfing Kimtech, and they have made the invisibility field less potent to walk in and out of. Like, shoot somebody, go back in the invisibility field. Shoot somebody, go back,
Yes.
Right? So they made that less. And that's fine. The invisibility field is still a stupid fucking idea, and you could just get rid of it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
instead of nerfing it, just fuck it. But that's not even what I was actually going to complain about. What I was going to complain about is they have a new skin line that's coming out, and the new skin line is porcelain.
Okay.
And it's a bunch of white and blue looking skins,
Yes.
right? And those skins look like hand painted china from like my grandma's house.
Yes.
And I was like, all right, well, that's kind of weird, but maybe that's supposed to tie in to like Chinese New Year.
Yeah, because
that's what these are. I mean.
Yeah, because Ezreal is the porcelain protector, and he has like the tiger because it's Year of the Tiger.
Okay, well, like you can make some pretty badass tiger skins, you know, that look fucking
Nidalee,
cool.
Rengar.
Well, no, just anything with a tiger theme to it. Make shit look like the Thundercats. You know, that would be fucking cool as shit. But instead, they're like, let's lean into fragile Chinese plates and make a skin out of them. And I'm thinking, I would never want to fight with my grandmother's china because I was told never to touch it because it's so brittle and breakable and expensive.
Yeah, but then, it's supposed to be elegant.
Okay, great. It is. But it's elegant. I don't want to play like Fabergé egg Udyr. You know what I mean? Like
it's just an egg walking around.
It's just like a very fancy egg, and it's like, don't touch me. There's very few of me. I'm fragile. You know, like that's fucking dumb. Like
it just No. He changes stance and he just pops out of another one.
Yeah, like you're thinking like a Russian doll situation.
Damn
where,
it!
Like, opens up and then there's like another Fabergé egg.
Yes.
Yeah,
it just.
That'd be cool. Actually, I would buy that skin because it's fucking hilarious. But these are not intended to be funny. It's intended to be like a thing. And I'm like, it doesn't make fucking sense. But that's okay. I mean, that's okay. Some of them look neat, right? Like, Lissandra's looks neat, right?
Ezreal looks okay.
Ezreal looks pretty cool. I mean, I'm looking at like the splash.
Umumu looks nice. I like him.
Okay, this is actually what I was going to bitch about. Was the
really
skin. Another teapot champion, another teapot-headed champion that just fucking released Cafe Cuties, and that was the only decent thing about that skin line was the stupid fucking teapot-headed champion.
I didn't expect. Oh my god! I thought you were gonna go. Oh no, that was.
No, he's a fucking animated teapot that has a mouse living in him. Why does he have a mouse living in him? Is there some sort of Cinderella-ass Chinese story that I don't know about with a mouse in a teapot?
I don't know.
Where did that come from? Look at all the chromas. They all have different colored mice. And it's like the mouse sticking out of the teapot is the most noticeable thing about the skin.
So, that's the thing. That doesn't bother me. The only thing that bothered me about the line was that they literally just made fucking Kindred into a fucking human. That's it.
Kindred has goat feet. Look close.
Yeah, but
goat feet.
Kindred might as well be a fucking elf in that fucking skin.
Oh, it is an elf. 20 elf ears. There's no. Yeah,
it's supposed to be the embodiment of death.
Well, no, that's
the fuck.
Wolf.
Don't give
Wolf
her goat feet and then just be like, oh no.
That's Wolf. Kindred is supposed to be the embodiment of like mercy, and Wolf is death, and it's like a kindness through death, kind of weird. Like, I'm the nice person, but this wolf here is going to eat your soul. So let's go to the afterlife, or this wolf is going to eat your soul. It's like not much of a choice kind of a situation, but it's like a softer sell of you're going to die. But like
you're going to give me fucking human Orin?
Well, like, I mean, and I just noticed this on the porcelain Kindred skin.
Yes.
Is that, like, yes, it looks like my grandmother's plates, but it also, like, around Kindred, right? The yin and yang fish from Avatar,
yes,
are also there, and I don't know why that is.
I think it's just like because lamb is supposed to be light, and Wolf is darkness. Like, come with me. I'll be nice. We'll just take you to the afterlife. And Wolf is like, no, I'll just tear your fucking.
Yin and yang koi fish.
Because it's the I don't fucking know. I don't make these skins, man.
And like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm looking at this shit.
I'll give credit. The firecracker ones are nice.
The firecracker ones are cool. I'm down. They look very like Chinese New Year. I think it's always been kind of a cool skin line. I think that's cool. I don't know where Withered Rose Zeri fits in. Looks like they made Automata or whatever from the like black, like
yeah.
She looks like she's blind. Is she blind?
No, so it was part of the Withered Rose line, which was like 4 patches ago.
What is that? Who else has that?
Let me check.
Is that LeBlanc? Is that a LeBlanc skin?
Rose, Elise, Syndra, Talon. It was the pretty boy Talon skin.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right, I'm fine with
and
that.
The Syndra one, they have an Akshan one coming. Oh yeah, they aren't these that this.
By the way, here's another bitch I have, right? If you look at Lux's porcelain skin,
yes,
right? She has porcelain rabbits all over her shit, right?
Okay.
Fine. I don't find this skin line super compelling, but I don't know. It's fine. But she has rabbits all over her shit, right?
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask.
Now go to the Prestige Edition, and her staff becomes Soraka's staff.
Yeah, that's.
Why?
All right.
That is the only champion League of Legends that has that.
I'm gonna ask.
Soraka.
All right, Papa. I'm gonna ask one thing. Can you rant for a minute? I got a quick pee.
Yeah, go ahead. I got this. I can. So like, yeah, like I get what they're doing here. I get what they're trying to accomplish. The problem that I get at is like, that's a dumb fucking skin. And who is this aimed at? It's the same shit with Cafe Cuties. It feels like you might have just called these like Cafe Cuties Part 2. Because that makes more fucking sense than porcelain. Because you have yet another tie-in to Fragile Ass Plateware. And I do not understand why that is. Also, right now, I'm trying to find the Porcelain Luxe Prestige Edition model. Because I really want to see what they did with the staff. Right? But it's not on the models that are like they didn't put the Prestige Edition Luxe skin on the models. And yeah, like I said, the Amumu skin, the thing that sticks out most is the mouse, which is weird to me. Why would you make a champion a teacup only to have the mouse be the most suitable thing? And now I also want to find out in a Google search whether or not there is some sort of like mouse teapot Chinese story. So I'm going to Google mouse teapot Chinese fable.
I've returned, and what we complain about?
Just kept it going. Just kept the same and rolled it. But I'm trying to figure out where this mouse comes from. Like it has to come from somewhere. Or is it just a year of the mouse tie-in or something? Do they have a year of the mouse?
There is a year of the mouse, or year of the rat.
Okay, well then that would be why.
Yeah, but it's year of the tiger.
Yes, but look at the other skins. Each one of them has a year of the whatever tied into the porcelain.
Yeah, that could be it. That's probably why he has a rat. There's a year of the rat, year of the serpent, year of the hare, year of the tiger,
year of the teapot.
Year of the teapot.
Year of the koi fish. He said with his eyebrow raised. I don't think that's one. But regardless, I don't know. Like I said, it feels like these things are fucking stupid. Hey, shout out this week to a new patron, Angry Dad. Thanks for your support, Angry Dad.
That's pretty good.
No, he became a patron because we did the whole storytelling episode. By the way, the feedback we got on the storytelling, it seems like people just don't give a fuck if we talk about League at all. Like, as long as we don't do it every week, everybody was overwhelmingly approving of these.
We gotta be, as long as we're entertaining.
Yeah, I guess so.
It seems like.
I mean, that's our shtick anyway. So it's entertaining and come hang out on the Discord. Also, shout out to Origami, new guy on the Discord. So thanks for popping in. He actually had 168 message chat with Astros today that didn't turn into a fight. So that's the first time I've ever seen that happen. So congrats. Yeah, it already fits in like a glove. All right. Well, you have anything else you want to say before we wrap this bitch up?
Bring back tanks, man. It's like, how did I think I talked to Immoral about it? Utility metas are great because not everyone dies in one hit.
Honestly, like, so Astros mentioned in his like 168 message rant that they were planning on dialing down the amount of damage in the game.
Yes.
But I read that post, and they said that that was actually, they were okay with the amount of damage in the game because China prefers it.
Yes, they put, it's a China. So China's like league, like if you watch pro China leagues, the games are done in like 20 minutes. They want a fast-paced, super fast-paced game. NA has always been play the slow game, play till late game.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why...
That's what I'm getting at, is like, China is overwhelmingly in favor of damage is good, more damage, everybody needs to die fast. That's fine.
It's also that, I think that's because it's also, there is... What is it? You have to be more skillful in a shorter amount of time.
Yep.
When there's more damage everywhere, you kind of got, like, your mistakes are bigger.
Right. Well, I mean, in China also, like, hyper emphasizes mechanical outplay. And if your mechanics are really good, then the only threat to you is the failure that, you mechanically fail something. If you have God tier mechanics and you're just amazing at dodging everything. And that's kind of the standard that they hold their higher elos to, is everybody has to be God tier mechanically. Well, then having more damage in the game makes sense because your mistakes are punished harder and your victories are bigger.
You know what? To quote Double Lift, ADC's not bad, you're just bad.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a great place to end it. But, on that, like, also keep in mind, China is Riot's biggest market.
Yeah. That's why we're getting Ari as the next ASU.
If they want damage, they're going to get damage. Tencent owns Riot. I don't want to... I very much doubt that this damage setup is not a here-to-stay situation.
Just adapt. You're gonna have to learn how to adapt.
Yeah, that's accurate. Okay, well, with that, good night, everybody. Good episode.
That felt good. That felt real good to do.
So, yeah. Shout out to the people that hung with us for the entire time. We need to get some of these other podcasters back in here. Everybody's a puss.
Oh god, dude. Imagine, oh my god. Imagine that rage with Double.
Yeah, Double.
Oh.
Well, that would probably be a little bit too much because Double kind of like hates the game right now. And so I feel like it'd go too hard into the negative on this topic. People get turned off by that.
That's the thing. I got mad, but I still tried to like.
No,
there's a silver lining, everyone.
No, you were good.
I still like the game.
It's just play better,
Yeah,
and
that's
true.
it.
Just play better. And I mean, granted, people don't want to hear that shit, but fuck off.
That's welcome to a competitive video game.
Yeah. I don't want to try, but I just want to be really good. Okay.
Like
Alright, man.
I want
I'm gonna-
I play.
I'm gonna.
I played-
change it. I gotta
Alright.
hang this flag back up.
Have fun
All right. See you.
later.